All persons responsible for any wrongdoing will be brought to justice.
3 police officers who allegedly frequented the former Blue House Lounge in Upper Tumon are behind bars accused of engaging in and promoting prostitution for 2 years. Officers Anthony Kenga, Mario Laksamana, and David Manila were named in a 28-page superseding indictment against Blue House owner Song Ja Cha and former worker Frida Yusin. The women were scheduled to begin trial this Wednesday in Superior Court. The indictment, which was made public today, lists 19 different criminal charges ranging from conspiracy to compel prostitution, conspiracy to commit felonious restraint, solicitation to promote prostitution, and kidnapping, to charges of first and second-degree criminal sexual conduct, criminal intimidation, and official misconduct. The officers allege criminal activity occurred between January of 2006 and January 13, 2008, when the brothel was uncovered because one of the Chuki's workers sought help to get back her passport that Cha had withheld. As we reported, Cha was convicted in federal court of paying to bring the woman to Guam, where they were forced to work at the Blue House and engage in prostitution while being held against their will. Cha, Yusin, and the officers are accused of preventing 17 girls from leaving the establishment and having them engage in sexual acts. Attorney General Leonardo Rapadas.
The charges stem from a time period between 2006 and 2008, where defendants Cha operated a brothel called the Blue House with young women who were lured to Guam from Chuk with promises of legitimate employment, only to be forced into prostitution through intimidation, assault, and other threats that included the involvement of police officers to prevent these victims from fleeing.
According to the indictment, Officer Manila is accused of sexually assaulting 2 of the workers, while Officer Kenga allegedly tried to force one of the girls to perform sexual acts on him while threatening to arrest her if she did not comply. Manila testified during Cha's federal trial and admitted to buying a drink and then having sex with a worker in a VIP room. He was disciplined but allowed to remain on the force. Police Chief Fred Berdalio commented on the arrest.
This indictment shows and demonstrates that police officers, even though they're members of the Guam Police Department, they're law enforcement officers, they're not above the law, and they can be held accountable for their actions, and that the Guam can be feel comfortable and have confidence that justice will take its course.
Even if a few bad apples or a few individual police officers were involved in the Blue House conspiracy, it was GPD who rescued the victims and broke the case in 2008. And it continues to be GPD and the FBI backing us up in this investigation and prosecution.
The officers spent the weekend behind bars at the Hagåtña detention facility and didn't know what charges they were facing until they were brought before the court for a return of warrant hearing this morning. The 3 were picked up by Superior Court marshals late Friday night. Officers David Q. Manila and Anthony Kenga are being held on $250,000 cash bail, while Officer Mario Laksamana is being held on $100,000 cash bail. Their defense attorneys attempted to have the charges thrown out today. Attorney William Pohl represents Officer Manila and argued that the statute of limitations has already expired to charge his client.
Normally a felony is 3 years. There are exceptions, and I don't believe those exceptions apply. But more importantly, they violated their right to be brought in front of a magistrate within 48 hours, and that's what we're going to deal with at this point.
Attorney Tom Fisher represents Officer Kenga.
It's appalling, absolutely appalling. They've kept all 3 of those gentlemen in jail for more than 48 hours, haven't told them what they were charged with. We just found out. It's clear that the government has charged him with offenses that are well outside the statute of limitations. So we'll be going in tomorrow to get this case dismissed.
Now, Assistant Attorney General Nelson Warner told the court that the Office of Attorney Generals tried to bring the officers before a judge on Saturday, however, were unsuccessful. Meantime, a further proceedings hearing has been scheduled for tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. before Judge Sokola. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Nick Delgado.